What is going on, warriors of Tamaris? Welcome to the ultimate field test in Call of Dragons. Today we're going to determine the difference between attack, HP and defense. My main goal is to determine which one of my archer artifact is going to be the best for fighting in the open field. Moreover, I'm also going to show you guys which unit type is the best in the game. We're going to do a testing between the Ballista from the League of Order and the Spearmen from the Wilderbeck faction. Finally, I'm also going to show you guys why you should be in a very powerful alliance, because it's going to play a big factor when you fight your enemies in the open field. If you are still new to the channel, make sure you subscribe for more testing like this in the future. Turn on the bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Let's get it started. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, we're going to begin the video by laying down the groundwork. So we're going to do the test by using Syndrion primary, Freygar secondary. As you can see here, my Syndrion is awakened and my enemy also has awakened Syndrion. My Freygar is only 5552. My enemy has awakened Freygar. Both of these heroes are 6 stars. Now I'm going to be doing the test by fighting one of the strongest players in the game. His name is Duz. Duz is the leader of the BDO Alliance from server 32. He also has an account here in server number 2. His account, I believe, is 120 million power. So let's go to the rankings and see where he is right now. So this is the account. He just changed his name to Paper Durs. So this account, max power is 120 million. So we're going to do the testing today. One more thing to show you guys here is that I am also VIP 15. So the conditions are almost the same. My main goal is to determine which one of my archer artifact is going to be best for fighting in the open field. We are going to be using a level 5 Shadow Blade that is maxed out and is 6 stars. We're also going to test out a Viola's Bow that is level 1 and 5 stars. You guys are going to be surprised at the results that you see. We are also going to find out the Heart of the Kamasi. This one is a defense archer artifact. It is level 4 and 5 stars. So the Shadow Blade is the only one that is maxed out. Get ready to see some surprising results today. Again, going back over here, I have Awakened Syndrion and then a 5552 Freygar. So we know the enemy is going to defeat me, but the goal is to determine which one of my artifact is going to perform well against the enemy. I'm also going to do one more test by using Kinara as well. My Kinara is also awakened. Unfortunately, it's only 4 stars. You're also going to see why it is very important to have 6-star heroes in the game. You guys are going to see the difference. One more test condition that I need to add. The enemy is only going to use a level 5 Shadow Blade. In this testing, we are not going to be using the artifact skill damage. The main goal is to try and find the difference between attack, HP and defense. Now this first test right here is to show you guys why it is very important to be in a powerful alliance. Now Duz has joined a very weak alliance that does not have a powerful technology. On the other hand, Duz has awakened Syndrion and awakened Freygar. Now me right here, I only have awakened Syndrion and my Freygar is not awakened. I am also using a level 1 Viola's Bow. The goal is to show you guys that War Frenzy and being in a strong alliance is very important. If you look on paper, Duz is supposed to win here because he has awakened Freygar, awakened Syndrion, level 5 Shadow Blade. On the other hand, I have awakened Syndrion, only 5552 Freygar and a level 1 Viola's Bow. You guys are going to see how the alliance technology is going to play a factor. Be sure to share the video with some of your friends who you think might find this information very useful. The fight is going on. We have a Syndrion and a Freygar, the heaviest heavy hitter in the game. Looks like the enemy has entered the red zone already. A clear indicator that you should be in an alliance with a good alliance technology. That is going to play a big factor when you fight your enemies in the open field. To go over the test conditions again, Daz is going to keep the same condition throughout the whole fight. He is only going to use a level 5 Shadow Blade with his Awakened Syndrion and Awakened Freyga. So here we're going to go to the report for the first test. This one is just to determine the strength of a powerful alliance technology. As you can see here, I was able to win this fight. Now my Freyga over here is not awakened, it's only 5552. On paper you might think he is going to win, but that did not be the case. Okay, so this is it. Conclusion: make sure you join a strong alliance, otherwise you're gonna get knocked out. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, let the testing begin. The first test that we're going to do now is going to be a Viola's Bow. So we're going to change the condition again. Both of us are going to leave the alliance. We're going to fight without an alliance, so we're going to be on the same page. We're also not going to fight on alliance territory, as you can see here. No one is in alliance territory, so we're going to begin the fight. I want to determine which one of my artifacts is going to protect me. I have the HP Viola's Bow right now, which is level 1. When we're done the fighting, we're going to see the report. We're also going to see how long it took before I got killed. So here we go, guys. Looks like I entered the red zone first. Things are not going well. That is because my Freyga is not awakened. Daz is also using the Spearmen from the Wilderbeck faction. I have the Ballista from the League of Order. In the Wilderbeck faction, you have a 3% physical attack from being in the faction, and you also have plus 5% all damage dealt. So you gotta keep that in mind. When it comes to the Ballista from the League of Order, you only have a 10% normal attack. So those are the differences between the units from the two factions. The fight is about to end and it looks like I'm gonna get knocked out. And there you go, I got destroyed. Here is the first report. At the end of the video, we're gonna put all the reports together to see which one of my artifact was the best. HP, defense, or attack. Now I'm gonna click on the battle log and show you guys how long this fight took. First of all, show you the conditions of the testing. I have here a 5552 Freyga. I have a level 1 Viola's Bow. He has a level 5 Shadow Blade. And both of his heroes are awakened. Let's go to the battle log and see how long this fight took. Go all the way to the bottom and find out the time. It took 1 minute and 13 seconds before I got annihilated. Let's keep those numbers in mind. Let's go to the next artifact. Test number 2. We're going to get rid of the Viola's Bow and then we're going to use the Heart of the Kamasi. That is what we're going to use now. This Heart of the Kamasi is level 4, which means it has minus 4% damage taken. Viola's Bow was only level 1. It only has level minus 1% damage taken. So let us see the differences between these two artifacts. Once we're done with this one, I'll also test my Shadow Blade to determine the strength of attack artifact. And then we're going to compare the statistics at the end. Here we go, guys. We have the Heart of the Kamasi. Is it gonna be surprising and make me win? Let's find out. Spearmen versus Ballistas. Different faction buffs. Both of us are not in any alliance, which is a good testing condition. We are both VIP 15. Both heroes are level 60. The only difference is I only have a 5552 Freyga, while the enemy has everything maxed out. My Syndrion is also maxed out. So let's see how this is gonna turn out. Looks like I'm gonna get crushed just like before. we're gonna do the testing. We shall compare the reports and see which one of my artifacts was better in protecting me and also doing damage as well. And there you go, I just got defeated. There goes the Casper skeleton back to the city. Let's check out the report real quick. So this is what the report looks like. You have the severely wounded on both sides. We have the number of troops remaining. We're going to check the Legion buffs just to show you that it is the correct test. We have a 5552 Fragger on my side. And I have a level 4 Heart of the Kamasi. He's got a level 5 Shadow Blade. Now we click on the battle log. See how long the fight took. Scroll all the way to the bottom and the fight took about 1 minute and 6 seconds. Now you can see the difference between HP and attack. My HP artifact took 1 minute and 13 seconds. My defense artifact took 1 minute and 6 seconds. We're going over to test number 3 right now. We're going to find out the strength of my Shadow Blade. My Shadow Blade is level 5. It is maxed out, which means it has a plus 5% all damage dealt and a minus 5% all damage taken. Let us see how this artifact is going to perform against DAOs. At the end, we're going to put all 3 artifacts side by side and compare which one is the best. Today, you're going to have a clear idea on which artifact to go and use in the open field against your enemies. I'm going to show you which artifact to use for different situations on the field. The Battle of the Shadow Blades. Both of us using Shadow Blades. Only difference is my Fragger is 5552. Let's see who is going to win. Is the 10% enhanced torsion for the ballista gonna help me out today? Let's find out. Share this video with your friends. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet already. Also comment down below which artifact you thought was the best in protecting me against this powerful enemy. Almost getting knocked out, and there you go. I got destroyed just like before. Okay, let's check out the report and see what happened. Here we have the severely wounded, and then we have the remaining troops. We're gonna click on the Legion buffs just to show you that it is the correct test. No fake statistics has been shown, so we click on the Legion buff. As you can see here, both of us rocking that Shadow Blade. The only difference is my Fragger is 5552. Now this is going to help me determine which one of these artifacts is going to protect me in the open field. So now let us put all reports side by side and see which one was the best. One more thing I gotta show you, we need to scroll down on the battle log on this report. And as you can see here, the fight took 1 minute and 2 seconds. So there you go. We're gonna put everything together and then determine which one of these artifacts was the best of the best. Okay, Warriors of Tamaris, here is the final report. Everything has been put on the screen nicely. I know the testing is not 100% ideal. The only goal is to find out which one of my artifacts is actually better. You're gonna see the difference between HP, attack, and defense, what they do for you out in the open field. Now let's go over this report and see what happens. So the first one on the top left hand corner is the Viola's bow. I lasted 1 minute and 13 seconds. It is only level 1 Viola's bow and it's 5 stars. It is missing 5% all damage dealt. The second one here on the right hand side is the Shadow Blade. It is level 5, it is 6 stars, which means it has 5% all damage dealt and minus 5% all damage taken. The one at the bottom is the Heart of the Kamasi. It is level 4. It is only 5 stars. It is missing 5% all damage dealt. However, I lasted 1 minute and 6 seconds on the field. As you can see here, the HP artifact made me last a little bit longer on the field. This is a clear indicator that if you want to last long in the field, you should always go for the HP. It is the #1 statistics in the game. Now let us go over the severely wounded and see which one of these 3 artifacts was actually awesome. Starting off with the Viola's bow, which is only level 1 and is missing 5% all damage dealt. I had a severely wounded of 38,000 and the enemy had severely wounded of 28,000. Now comparing the Viola's bow to the Shadow Blade, you can see the Shadow Blade only had severely wounded of 30,000 and the enemy had 23,000. It took 1 minute and 13 seconds with the Viola's bow and only 1 minute and 2 seconds with the Shadow Blade. We can see that HP is going to help you last long in the field, which means you're also going to take more severely wounded. On the contrary, you're also going to do more damage to the enemy as well. As you can see here, the enemy got 28,000 severely wounded for the Viola's bow, which is only level 1 and missing 5% all damage dealt. And then you have the Shadow Blade, which only dealt a damage of 23,000. It has 5% all damage dealt and all that HP damage. It still could not keep up with the Viola's bow. This is a clear indicator that HP is the statistics that you should always pick in the game. Now we know the Shadow Blade can really do some damage with the area of effect, but if you want an artifact that's going to protect you, help you last long, it is hands down the Viola's bow. When you last long on the field, you tend to keep more troops with you and you tend to do more damage over time, as it is shown over here. Now when it comes to the Heart of the Kamasi, it is in between in terms of defense. It is level 4, which means it has -4% all damage taken, but it still could not keep up with my Viola's bow. Now I lasted about 1 minute and 6 seconds. It's okay. It dealt a damage of 21,000, the lowest damage. The thing is, it is not level 6 stars as well, so it doesn't have that +5% all damage dealt. But when it comes to picking between a HP artifact and a defense artifact, you should always go with the HP. As you can see from here, the HP artifact actually gave me the best value. Another thing that we can discuss from here is that I personally think Cindrion is probably the best archer in the game, just by looking at these statistics. So let's go over here and then see what's going on. Where is my game? Okay, here is my game right now. Let's go to Cindrion. You can see Cindrion over here, he has a 15% HP. This simply means if you have Cindrion in your troops, he is going to make you last long in the field and you're going to do more damage over time. So I personally would think a Cindrion and a Fragger will last longer on the field than a Kinara and a Nico. A Kinara and a Nico only have, like, let's see over here. You only have a marksman defense of 10% and that's it. Kinara doesn't have that kind of statistics. Well, she can reduce the damage dealt for the target that she's hitting, but when you get hit by multiple targets, this is not going to protect you against everyone. Kinara also has a hero skill damage taken reduction of 10%, but as you know, when many people hit you, they hit you with normal attack, which does not care about this hero skill damage taken. On the contrary, when you have a Cindrion and a Fragger, you will be protected against everybody who touches you, meaning you should be able to last long and do more damage through counter attack. Cindrion 15% HP, Fragger 15% defense. And that is my conclusion for the differences between HP and attack. You should always go for HP if you want to last long in the open field. Final conclusion for me, I think Viola's bow is the best archer artifact in the game. If you want some good value, I know there are some heavy hitters like the Gold Crest, which can just melt enemy with artifact damage, but if you want to last long on the field and do some damage over time, then the Viola's Bow is the way to go. Now one more thing to add. Let's say all of your artifacts are level 1. Which one should you pick? The answer is simple. I'll probably go with the Viola's Bow. It is gonna give you the best value, and I think you'll get more merits as well. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, it is time to show you guys the final test of the video. We're going to be using Awakened Cindrion and Awakened Kinara with the Shadow Blade. The goal is to determine the difference between the Ballista from the League of Order and the Spearmen from the Wilderbeck faction. Now the enemy has Awakened Cindrion and Awakened Kinara and a level 5 Shadow Blade. I have Awakened Cindrion, Awakened Kinara, level 5 Shadow Blade. We both have the same troop capacity, I think 238,000. My Kinara is only level 50. My Kinara is also only 4 stars. You guys are going to see why it is very important to have 6 stars in the game. As you can see now, I was the first one to hit the yellow spot, and the 5% all damage dealt from the Wilderbeck faction can be felt over here. Just take a look at the skill damage for Kinara. It's like doing 2,000 more damage than me, which is just disgusting. So what are the difference between the League of Order and the Ballista? I mean the Ballista from the League of Order and the Spearmen from the Wilderbeck faction. The Ballista get a 10% normal attack damage boost, and then the Spearmen have a 5% all damage dealt, and they also have a 3% physical attack from the faction. The first time I did the test, I did not believe it. I'm like, this can't be. Let's do it again. And then this report up top is the second time we tried the test and we got the same outcome. Okay, so this is the first report and this one is the second one. The same thing. So now we're gonna talk about everything. As you can see here, both heroes are awakened. The only problem is I have a 4-star Kinara. A clear indicator that 6-star heroes are very important in the game. They can play a big role when you fight your enemies. We both have the same Shadow Blade, we have the same troop capacity, and this is the outcome. I just got wrecked. Severely wounded, 33,000 to 20,000. You guys could see the effects of the 5% all damage dealt from. Well, Warriors of Tamaris, we are going to expand this report and go over it in a little bit more details. Now to put everything on the table, the Ballista from the League of Order will get a plus 10% normal attack after standing for 4 seconds without moving. So that is kind of a bummer for the League of Order because you know Cindrion gets rapid fire in the first 3 seconds. Therefore, you're going to miss out on that 10% normal attack with the Ballista from the League of Order. On the contrary, the Spearmen from the Wilderbeck faction will get a plus 5% plus 5% all damage dealt, and on top of that you also get plus 3% physical attack. But over here I can see a damage dealt of plus 8%. I don't know where the other 3% is coming from. All the conditions are the same except the Spearmen are getting plus 8% all damage dealt. Now when you look at the numbers here, the numbers in green are mine. As you can see, I am losing more troops than the enemy. That is because of the plus 8% all damage dealt and the 3% physical attack for the faction. So when I expand this report, the League of Order Ballista will get that 10% normal attack when they stand for 4 seconds, which gave this enemy the upper hand because Cindrion has rapid fire in the first 3 seconds. Therefore, for the first 6 normal attacks, I did not have my 10% normal attack damage dealt, which kind of sucks for being an archer in the League of Order. So we're gonna scroll down all the way to the fourth minute or the 5th minute where the enhanced torsion kicked in, and by that time Cindrion's rapid fire at the beginning of the match has ended. So here is the 5th seconds. We're gonna go all the way to the bottom over here where it says enhanced torsion kicked in after 5 seconds, which means I lost out on the rapid fire without any 10% normal attack. And once I got this enhanced torsion, you guys can see that I started doing a little bit more normal attack than the enemy. Over here I did 1952 while the enemy did 1914. But the plus 5% all damage dealt and the 3% physical attack of the Wildebeest is just too much. And there you go guys. Final conclusion, Wildebeest archers best in the game. Now from the testing, you guys can comment which one of my artifact was the best. Was it the Viola's Bow? Was it the Shadow Blade? Or was it the Heart of the Kamasi? In my case, I will go with the HP artifact from now onwards. Share this video with your friends. Leave some comments down below. If you're new here, subscribe. Until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.